Hi everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Wilhelm's Weather Why. This is where we take a deep dive into some sort of weather or science topic, and as we transition into late summer, I wanted to talk about some of the things we start to notice during the latter part of summer, and that of course the days getting shorter. We're approaching 2 months since the summer solstice here in August. And that means we're heading into a different season, at least in terms of solar seasons. This may be kind of a new concept to you, but we call it solar autumn. It's the 3 months of the year in which we lose daylight at the most rapid pace. Per day, we're over 2 minutes worth of daylight loss now, and this actually peaks later this month and through September and October and early November at about 2.5 minutes or so worth of daylight loss per day. So from roughly now through early November, we lose daylight pretty rapidly, not only here locally, but of course across the rest of the northern hemisphere. The days are getting a little bit shorter. The sun's getting a little lower in the sky as well. Now, it's not as low as it is, of course, when we head towards winter. The first day of winter in December, the sun only gets 26 degrees above the horizon. There's actually a pretty big change between winter and summer, or summer and winter, as to how high in the sky the sun tends to get. Now, as we head towards spring, of course, the sun gets a little higher in the sky, and this peaks here at our latitude in eastern Ohio and western PA at 72 degrees above the horizon. Now, if you've ever been down to the southern U.S., Florida, and into the Caribbean, the sun gets even higher than this. The sun is incredibly strong the closer you are to the equator, but around here it gets to about 72 degrees above the horizon at the beginning of summer. Here in August, the sun is getting to between 65 and 68 degrees above the horizon. Kind of a modest change, but that change, of course, accelerates as we head deeper into late summer and fall. So how much daylight loss are we talking about here as we head into these transitional seasons? Well, between June 20th and the start of August, we lost almost an hour worth of daylight, but by about Labor Day, we lose about another hour or so worth of daylight, heading all the way down to when things kind of bottom out at the start of the winter season, 9 hours and 13 minutes worth of daylight in December. Now, there's going to be a little bit of a lag here between the loss of daylight and when temperatures typically start cooling off significantly. Our average high temperatures are still very elevated in August. In fact, just a degree off from our climatological peak in the month of July. We see a climatological peak of 83. Our average high in early August is 82. We only drop down to 79 by the very end of August. But of course, as we transition into September and especially October, these averages start falling in a hurry, so that a typical early October day features high temperatures only in the mid-60s. We're talking mid-50s as we head towards November. And of course, our averages, much like the daylight, well, they bottom out in winter. We typically see by the start of meteorological winter at the start of December, our average high in the mid-40s. So we've got a long way to go between now and then, but already as we transition into late summer, we're starting to see some signs that the seasons are indeed changing.